This is Maple Syrup. We are here to show you the life of Canadian immigrant, the daily struggle, lifestyle, and how we adapt to Canadian culture. And you can decide if you should immigrate to Canada.
Hi, welcome back to the second episode of Maple Syrup. In the last episode, we talked about our first impression of Canada. Today, we want to share some of the culture shock we experienced when we first got here.
So, what are the most shocking thing about Canada that caught you off guard?
I would say what surprised me the most was how nice Canadians are. I mean, I know Canadians are famous for their politeness, but sometimes I found they can be too nice.
Ooh, is there such thing as being too nice?
Oh yeah, let me tell you one of my stories. I was just fresh off the boat and so excited to explore the new place. I was walking down the street. While I was approaching to the intersection, I saw a car that was coming towards me. All of a sudden stopped. And the driver inside of the car was giving me the hand gesture to cross the street. But I did not plan to do that. I did it anyway.
Run now!
Because I am a nice person.
Are you nice or you were pressured?
Well, I guess I was under pressure too.
There we go. Well, I totally do agree, and I did something similar. I'm from Thailand. People are generally really, really nice, but Canadian is just something else. I remember back in Winnipeg, I was walking on the street, and just random Canadian just all of a sudden say hi. I don't know who he is, and he don't know who I am. I think he doesn't know who I am, but he was just like, hey, right? It happened once. I was like, okay, that was odd, right? But then it happened again and again. Just random people just saying, how are you? Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And smiling at you, and you don't know who they are, and you feel really, really strange because who does that, right? And then eventually you kind of like, okay, maybe this is something like how nice Canadian are. It's in their culture, right? So you start saying it back. Now random people say hi to you, you go, hey, how are you? It's just like you know each other, but you don't, right? If you do that in Thailand, people think you're crazy.
Hello.
I'm sure if you do that in China, you just around say, hey, hi, they will think you're crazy too, right?
I'm so used to this kind of thing, so I really can't imagine because every day here in Canada, I always went for a morning jog and I always say hello to everybody.
Exactly, you're used to it now. Like I'm doing that now too, right? When I'm go out, see people walk across the street, they're probably a neighbor or somebody live close by, and I go, hey, how are you?
That's true. So what was the things that surprised you the most?
I want to say poutine.
The French fries.
Yeah, the fries, gravy, and cheese. But poutine looks horrible. They look like puke.
I disagree. I think it looks really good.
No, I don't think so. Have you seen poutine?
Oh yeah. Maybe you went to the wrong place.
No. Just imagine this. Salty fry on hot gravy and cheese is melting on top of it. It does look like puke. The first time I saw it, I was like, somebody served me puke. Right? But it tastes good. I learned to love it. It tastes really, really good now. So what surprised me the most was actually how many homeless people were in Winnipeg. Just like a lot of people outside of Canada, I thought Canadians are rich before I got here. But in reality, there's so many people struggling to make ends meet, and you need to work hard, to get a comfortable life here in Canada. It's not just you cannot just rely on government support.
That's true. I even know some people have to work 2, 3 jobs. Since you mentioned homeless people, I believe there are a lot of people out there who like to know the living cost here in Canada. Is it expensive to live in Canada?
Well, yes, and I know things are going to be more expensive here, but I didn't know to what extent. And food are just so much more expensive here, and when foods are more expensive, everything else is more expensive.
What do you mean by everything?
Well, I'm used to eating out with the family and friend in Bangkok. Because eating out are so expensive in Canada, I learned how to cook.
This hollandaise smells like burnt rubber. God, it's hot in here.
Even hanging out with friends in a bar, it's expensive. Drink, snack, just spending time outside in general is more expensive here. For example, in Thailand, I would go out to a restaurant, to the mall, to the bar during the weekends. Now in Canada, I would rather stay home, cook at home, make barbecue, invite people over. They can bring some drinks. I can make some meat.
Well, I've got only one word to say to you. Pork bellies. So what do you think, Rich?
I think all we ever talk about is money. We should be having fun.
All vice versa. And it's just so much cheaper that way. And I don't want to think about insurance and tax here. Paying tax for everything here are so expensive.
Yeah, for people who are planning to come to Canada, be prepared the amount of insurance and taxes you have to pay. For instance, you purchase a house. Obviously, there's down payment, house insurance, mortgage insurance, which is different from the house insurance you have to pay. On top of that, every year there is a property tax. You'll be surprised how much you end up paying. I think things are more expensive here is because the labor cost is higher. That's why we have to do a lot of things by ourselves, including renovating your house. DIY project is very popular here, and you can find tutorial online for pretty much everything. So once you live in Canada for a while, you will definitely be more independent.
So Chelsea, based on your experience, what's your advice for people who are planning to come here?
My advice is to do your research, be prepared, and be open. Canada is great, but it's not perfect. There are things that will surprise you or even disappoint you, but that's just life. In order to adapt to Canadian life easily and quickly, the best way is simply go out, meet people, and make friends. After all, people are what makes Canada one of the greatest countries in the world.
Alright guys, thanks for watching the second episode of Maple Syrup. If you like our content, please click like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. And I hope to see you guys all in the Great White North.